Firstly, I will present about the introduction of management scholar Igor Ansoff. His name is Harry Igor Ansoff. He was known as the father of strategic management. Igor Ansoff was born on December 12, 1918 in Vladivostok, Russia. He studied general engineering at the Stevens Institute of Technology to complete his Master of Science degree in the dynamics of rigid bodies. Igor Ansoff began his doctoral research in the area of applied mathematics and the theory of the elasticity and plasticity. Igor Ansoff went to the Brown University in 1946 to obtain a doctorate in applied mathematics. When he was 30 years old, his formal schooling was completed in 1948. After defending his thesis, he married his wife and moved to Santa Monica, California, where he joined the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, in the Senior Executive Program. In 1969, at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, he accepted a position as the founding dean of the New Orleans Graduate School of Management. He joined the U.S. in 1983 International University, where he established a strategic management system for the school. He is professionally known worldwide for his research in three specific areas, which are the idea of environmental turbulence, the contingent strategic success paradigm, and the real-time strategic management. Igor Ansoff also introducing the Ansoff metric, which is a method he designed to plot generic business growth strategies across existing or new products and markets. The Igor Ansoff Award was created in 1981 in Holland in his honor. In the study of strategic planning and management, the Prestige Award is presented for strategic management. The Japan Strategic Management Society Annual Award and the Ansoff MBA Scholarship at Vanderbilt University, USA are the two other awards which are being established in his honor. Furthermore, Igor Ansoff died following pneumonia complication in San Diego, California on July 14, 2002. Next, I will present about the definition of management theory or concept. The first one is Ansoff metric. Ansoff metric is a strategic planning method relating the marketing strategy of a company with its general strategic direction. It is also a tool that helps companies to determine their plan for products and market development. There are four elements in this Ansoff metric. The first one is market penetration. The business provides its product with a market penetration strategy in the established market, which aims to increase its market share. This may be applied in a variety of ways, such as cutting costs, increasing marketing and distribution activities, and also acquiring a competitor in the same marketplace. The second one in the Ansoff metric is product development. The product development means the business creates a new product in the product development strategy to appeal to the existing market. By investing in the R&D, this approach can be applied in order to produce new products to suit the market. The third one is market development, which is the company enters a new market for its existing product in the market development strategy. The most effective if the company have their own proprietary technologies that it can expand into new markets. The fourth is the diversification. The company enters a new market with a new product in the diversification strategy. There are two elements of diversification. The first one is related diversification, which means the existing business and the new product and market. There are possible synergy to be achieved. The second one is unrelated diversification. There are no potential synergy between the existing business and the new product and market that can be recognized. The second concept by Igor and Ansoff is the environmental turbulence. That is the strategy of an organization that needs to balance the level of turbulence in its environment in order to be successful. Ansoff concluded and proved for each level of turbulence that a different behavior is required at each level to optimize the profitability of an organization. It needs to look at the both of external and internal condition and coordinate its role to produce successful results. Impossible for a business to manage both of strategic and operational components. This leads to the recognition that understanding and analyzing the external environment of the company is essential to its strategic success. Ansoff 5 environmental turbulence level consists of repetitive, which is change in slow and predictable. The second one is expanding, rapid development and market stability. The third one is changing, that is incremental development and various criteria. Next, discontinuous, together predictable and dynamic changes occur. The fifth, surprising, unexpected change that both originates from new products and services and emerge from it. The last concept is real-time strategic management. Real-time strategic management is a structured system of early identification and quick response to changes in an organization that are external and internal. The environmental turbulence that can be defined as a business environment model consisting of 5 turbulence levels is evaluated and consists of strong signal, weak signal, surprise management, problem management, and crisis management. Strategic management in real time also helps to develop implementation and analyze cross-functional decisions that will help an organization to achieve its objective. In order to enable the company to measure its effect and to formulate specific response plans, strong signal problems will be adequately clear and practical. Weak signals, imprecise early sign of potential impactful event will be involve other problems. Next is the function of real-time strategic management. The first one is the implementation of strategic diagnosis to determine the readiness of the organization to succeed in the highly turbulent environment. The second one is the priority focus to ensure that key managers and the culture of the business are appropriately focused to adapt to this type of this environment. The third one is the expectation of resistance to change is supported by early steps to transform resistance into recognition and support for change. Next, the last one is the estimates the risk of determining each major strategic decision and designing the organization's strategic planning and positioning.
So, I will start with the Ansoff metric. Ansoff metric contains 4 main elements, which are the market penetration, product development, market development, and diversification. Firstly, the market penetration is about the existing product in the existing market. So, as we know, in order to penetrate their market, a big brand such as Bpmn, Coca-Cola, has known for investing a lot in marketing and many more to reach more customer, more deepen, and so on. So, based on the diagram that I've been shown in the slide, due to the increasing power of the Coca-Cola brand, the company has been able for using market penetration on annual basis, and during the Christmas, the Coca-Cola and the Christmas have launched a commercial which helped to raise the sale during the festive season. Next is product development, which is a new product in existing market. I will still use Coca-Cola as the example, which are shown that a perfect example was released when the Cherry Coke in 1985, the first variation of Coca-Cola beyond its original formula, and the strategy of the small-scale rivals who found a competitive opportunity to add cherry-flavored syrup to Coca-Cola and resell it. Since then, this brand has successfully launched other flavors versions, including lime, lemon, and vanilla. Next, we go with the market development, which is about the existing product in new market. The strategy for expanding the market requires the development of a new segment of customers for an existing product. The release or launching of the Coke Zero in 2005 was a prime example of this, its idea being the same as Diet Coke, with the great taste of Coca-Cola, but with zero sugars and low calories. Diet Coke was released more than 30 years ago, and although more females drink it every day than any other soft drink brand, it became obvious that young men shied away from it because of their consequential conception of being a woman drinks. With its shiny black can and polar opposite promotional campaign, Coke Zero has effectively created a more masculine appeal. And lastly, in the Ansoff metric is about the diversification, which is new product in a new market. Diversification are divided into two, which is related diversification and unrelated diversification. So first we go to the related diversification. Is about the established firm and the new product or market need to be known. In 2007, Coca-Cola spent a lot of money on the development of the Glaucia, including its brand vitamin water health drink. And as we know, Coca-Cola is a carbonated soft drink company, so it's jump to the new, which is vitamin water, like something that more healthy. Meanwhile, the unrelated diversification is about not having any potential synergy to be realized between the established firm and the new product or the market. Coca-Cola typically avoid risky adventures in uncertain regions and can instead use its market power to continue to expand within the beverages industry. That said, Coca-Cola offers official products from pans and glasses to fridge, and making use of its strong brand advocacy through this strategy. Okay, the second application of management theory, which is environmental turbulence. Environmental turbulence has five elements, which are repetitive, expanding, changing, discontinuous, and surprising. Basically, repetitive is about the change, which is slow and predictable, which we can see this kind of repetitive environmental turbulence happen in scarf business. It is because they cannot change it in many ways, and if they do some changes, it is predictable. Next, expanding known as a rapid development and market stability. This is happen in business that want to enter the market stability. As example, Huawei, which is a mobile company, have a rapid development in order to compete with other mobile company, especially Apple, and after that they have their own market stability on their platform. Okay, thirdly, the changing. Changing is about incremental development and various criteria. This usually happens in automobile industry, like we can see from Proton's output from Proton Saga. The changing is about incremental development and various criteria. This usually happen in automobile industry, like we can see from Proton's output from Proton Saga, the first launching in their list, and then followed by other cars until now. And recently, they are producing the X50 and the X70. All of these cars have their incremental changes differently, and various criteria that has been changed to fulfill the customer's need. Continuous environmental turbulence is together predictable and dynamic changes occur. This is when they already prepared for what will happen in order to facing the dynamic changes that will occur. And lastly, surprising turbulence, where unexpected changes that both originates from new products and services and emerge from it. It will be surprising turbulent when it is new product or services to the market. It may be not from usual industry, but to agriculture industry, like when they want to produce something in order to increase their profit. So it will surprising turbulence. Okay, lastly, the last application of the management theory by Igor and Ansoff is the real-time system. Real-time strategic management, or as known as real-time system, contains 5 main elements, which are strong signal, weak signal, surprise management, issues management, and crisis management. Okay, firstly is the strong signal. Strong signal refers to the mainstream justification within the company. For example, in a media and entertainment industry, content streaming and customized recommendation engines are strong signals, such as GSC for cinemas and TV3 and many more. Meanwhile, weak signal is one of the real-time system. As we know, there are a lot of technologies that will enhance or disturb the business is repeatedly changing. Next, surprise management is about how the employees facing the encountered number of surprises or plot twists in managing their job, such as maybe the investor firstly want to withdraw from investing to their project so that they cannot expect it. Issues management is also one of the real-time system, where in every company this issues management will always occur, and they need to settle it in win-win situation for every employees. And lastly, the crisis management, where the practice of preparing for uncertainty incident to minimizing their damage and to keep the company on track as fast as possible. So there's example. In March 2018, a whistleblower told the two newspapers that without their permission from Facebook, a British company called Cambridge Analytica had purchased data on 87 million Facebook users for 5 days before releasing a statement admitting that mistakes had been made. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was silent. The response was heavily criticized by Facebook users, leading Mark Zuckerberg later to say in media interview that I'm sorry, but then the damage is done. So here, that what we can see is the crisis management that Mark Zuckerberg had been done is too late, and he not adapt it very well. That's all from me. Thank you.
Contribution of management theory. The first one is Ansoff metric helps companies evaluate and formulate a strategy for the future business growth. Ansoff metrics is a significant marketing strategy that can help business decide what action can be taken on the basis of the current market scenario and product scenarios. This model is essential for strategic marketing planning, where it can be applied by developing new products and services or tapping into new markets to look at opportunities to grow revenue for a business. So it is sometimes referred to instead of the Ansoff matrix as the product market matrix. This focus on growth means it's one of the marketing models that is most widely used. It is used to evaluate opportunities for business to boost their revenues by showing alternative combinations for new markets against four strategies offering products and services as shown. In a market penetration strategy, the firm can be aware that they need to sell its current product to the same individual, but in a larger quantity. For example, the business may be more aggressive with its marketing, but within the same target group. It can also offer people incentive in exchange for a discount to purchase more products. In strategies for market development, firms enter new markets with existing products. Expanding into new markets in this context can mean expanding into new geographic regions or customer segments. Market expansion on strategies may include one approach, such as serving various customer segments, entering a new domestic market, or entering a foreign market that is expanding internationally. For example, sport goods companies such as Nike and Adidas have recently entered the Chinese market for expansion. The product development is about developing new products for sale to your existing customer base. For instance, sports shoe manufacturers have aggressively developed products such as sportswear for sale to a group of individuals who originally only bought shoes. Of all four companies, diversification is arguably the riskiest, as both market and product development are required. The risk can be mitigated somewhat through related diversification. These four components for the Ansoff matrix are very helpful to businesses or firms in further developing their economic growth and help to solve the problems faced by using the above strategies. The second one is contingent strategic success paradigm. Ansoff used the model of turbulence to construct a strategic success paradigm based on three variables: the turbulence level of the organization's environment, the aggressiveness of the organization's strategic behavior in the environment, and the responsiveness of the organization's management to change to the environment. The paradigm states that when the organization's aggressiveness and management responsiveness both match the turbulence of the organization's environment, and organization's financial performance is optimized. That an organization can succeed at one time and fail at another allows Ansoff to realize that the strategy of an organization must be aligned with the level of turbulence in which it operates, otherwise its financial performance decreases. To demonstrate the connection between the environment, strategy, and capability, a matching triplet was designed. For working managers, Ansoff developed a diagnostics tool to diagnose their organization's readiness to succeed in turbulent environments. It allows a company to recognize the existence of any discrepancy between its future environment, its current strategy, and its present capacity. The paradigm can also be used by managers to choose the strategy approach proposed by academics and consultants that suits the appropriate level of turbulence best. At each level of turbulence, there are quite a number of options available. However, on level of turbulence, the same strategy option does not guarantee optimal financial performance. One can be fitting for one, but unfit for another. The third one is real-time strategic management. Assists companies in balancing the development of the company in every type of environment that emerge. This contribution helps a company to realize the importance of responding to these types of environment. A company must ensure that the thinking patterns of main managers are appropriate and in line with the company culture. This has made it a main observation in the company so that the company does not fail in responding to these types of environment. This strategy can help the company in maintaining its performance and development at all times. In addition, companies are exposed to the importance of strategic planning and organizational position so that all emerging problems can be faced calmly and successfully. With strategic planning and organizational positioning, it allows the organization to identify strengths and weaknesses more clearly. Next, each company should be skilled in evaluating risk estimates that include every major strategic decision in each type of environment. Risk management does not seem to identify new types of risks that are 100% likely to occur but are ignored by organizations due to lack of identification capabilities. For example, when a lack of knowledge is practiced in a situation, there is a risk of knowledge. Therefore, the company must identify, characterize, and evaluate the threats that will occur. It also needs to assess the vulnerability of important assets to specific threats. In addition, the company must determine the risk, for example, the possible expectations and the impact of the specific attack type on the specific asset. The last is to identify how to reduce those risks and determine the importance of risk reduction measures based on strategies.
My name is Nabila Noliana binti Musa. My metric number 256083. I will talk about criticism toward Igor Ansoff. The first criticism is from Walter Gerard. Walter Gerard stated that the theoretical model of Igor Ansoff, which is strategic planning, cannot be used in performance of the company. It is important to note that the true nature of the corporate performance strategic planning relationship is still unproven. The bias introduced by the methodology, however, limits the consideration of these various studies. Model based on corporate performance assessment as an indicator of the effectiveness of the strategic planning process appear to be particularly inappropriate for such an assessment. Taking into account the non-financial implication of the strategic planning implication, although more recent models based on an evaluation of the actual features of the strategic planning process somewhat compensate for this deficiency, their methodology also restricts them from obtaining a sample and response that are sufficiently representative of reality. However, this model provides a better representation of reality by incorporating the dimension of the planning system and the internal organization setting. Second criticism is from Ray Ansoff, state that the strategy management is examined in the context of the life and work of its founder, Igor Ansoff. His contributions are considered in contrast to postmodern argument against effort to acquire systematic, lasting knowledge in the social science and to apply systematic practice in the successful management of organization. It is suggested that such postmodern critique amount to little more than a reincarnation of philosophical skepticism. Finally, it is argued that strategic management rely on concepts derived from cybernet, which relate to the successful operation of complex, dynamic systems. Thirdly, the criticism from both them and Katarzyna about the Igor Ansoff is about the problem of many warning systems in the phenomena of so-called surprise, involving a failure to spot the symptoms of upcoming undesirable event in time. This often happens despite the presence of technologically advanced detection and monitoring system. It is believed that the solution to this problem has been solved by the concept of weak signal. However, in many situations, it is known that method based on this concept has limited effectiveness especially in relation to trade signal. Deductive reasoning and enumerative induction were incorporated into the above step method. The result of the work is a presentation of the conception of warning signal strength as well as models relate to the problem. Lastly, the criticism from second Chelik towards Igor Ansoff is strategic thinking in management literature dates back to 1916. From this day forward, strategy have been defined and conceptualized in many different ways. As a result, different schools of thought and diverse approaches have been detected and several classifications have been made. Two fundamental approaches to strategy are rational and behavioral strategic thinking. Although classical rational planning approach have many drawbacks and a behavioral approach have been reasoned as a criticism against it. Both are valuable and using them together leads to be more comprehensive solution to the strategic problem. Organizations always have to make such choice, such as Igor Ansoff and Kenneth Andrew. The highly theoretical works did not have an influence on practice since no normative implications were suggested. Finally, as the conclusion, Igor Ansoff, who was known as the father of strategic management and taught for 17 years at the US International University, was died of complications from pneumonia on July 14, 2002. Professionally, he is known worldwide for his research in three specific areas, which is the concept of environmental turbulence, the contingent strategic success paradigm, a concept that has been valid by numerous doctoral dissertations and real-time strategic management. Igor Ansoff's major idea of management theory are conceived Ansoff metric, environmental turbulence, and real-time strategic management. Marketing and MBA students are usually familiar with his Ansoff metric, a tool he devised to plot a generic strategy for the establishment of a company via existing or a new product in existing or new market. Even he got a lot of criticism, but it not put down her goal to be a father of the strategic management.